about that.
Right, so here we go. We are actually in the game. The first game of today's broadcast of Group G. It is in the bottom left corner of the map. Our Portuguese Zerg player, it is HyDrA.
And his opponent is going to be here in the top right. It is from Eastern Wizards, the Protoss player in teal colors, who goes by the name Snovski.
Yep, the Eastern Wizards are actually, I think, a very friendly bunch. As far as I know, they have only one StarCraft player, which is Snovski. But they're really enthusiastic. They're on the Twitters tweeting about our match today.
Yeah.
So that's definitely fun. They might be watching at this very moment.
Oh yeah, I would be surprised, but at the same time I would be delighted. So let us see. It seems like Snovski wants to be opening with a gateway first. Or maybe if he's feeling ballsy, he might go for a Nexus first into a gateway, but I really doubt that. You don't really do that in PvZs. Although this is a 4-player map, it might not pay off for him if he were to do that. Meanwhile, we are going to see HyDrA either go for a 15 pull, but it is way more likely that he's going to go for a 15 hatch.
I think we're going to see Nexus first, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. Wow, that's balls. Balls right out here for Snovski is going for Nexus first. I guess he's going off the fact that this is a 4-player map, so the chances of his opponent cheesing him with some kind of an early pull or a rush in the first game straight up are really low, so he just decided to risk it. Whereas here for the Zerg player, unless your opponent is cannon rushing you, which HyDrA is going to check for right now with this drone here, then you can absolutely go for 15 hatch quite safely.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a question for you, Bill. So, if you plan on going for this pretty risky strategy of Nexus first, right? Wouldn't you put your first pylon and the gateway that he's building now? Wouldn't you be better off placing that at the choke near your natural that blocks off your naturals? Or is that...
No, because you can lose that really quickly to aggression. When you put it on the high ground, it might happen that your opponent is going to go for a heavy speeding aggression, at which point you might have to cancel your Nexus at the natural, or in case it is already finished, you might lose that. Now, if you have all your other buildings down there, that means your main base is wide open, you don't have a wall off at the top of the ramp, and the Lynx can just stream past and kill all your economy while you're trying to defend the natural. Now, so that's probably the reason. Now we see a third hatch being built by HyDrA before he went for that spawning pool, which only now is coming down. Now Snovski sees this. He did open with a gateway. Now he has to make a decision. Do I decide to punish that straight away, or do I try and play a macro game? Playing a macro game versus this build can be tricky, because unless you put a lot of pressure onto the Zerg player, he will just shoot far ahead of you in terms of economy.
Of course, it's always the economy versus aggression game, right? There's also balance in StarCraft. You have to decide whether you're going to be working on your economy so that you will have a big army later on, or maybe get an army now that will be smaller than what you would have been able to get later on, but with which you can do damage right now. And it appears that both of these players at the very moment are kind of trying to build up their economy, but we see a move out from Snovski at this point.
Yeah, he has chrono boosted out 2 zealots. He's dumping the other chrono boost into his stalker. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another stalker being built, or maybe a sentry followed by 2 additional gateways. But no, it's going to be a Stargate behind this move out. So Snovski is going to start putting on pressure onto the Zerg player and try to cause as much damage as possible, following that up with an Oracle. I think the aim of this move out actually is to kill as many queens as possible, because at this stage the Zerg player will be very reluctant to build spore crawlers with his drones, and his only other anti-air defense will be the queens. Now queens can be with clever time warp usage can be brought down. If he manages to kill all these 3 queens, which I really doubt, then the Oracle will have free reign of the bases.
He's got all the 3 queens together as well, so it's going to make it hard for Snovski to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, exactly. And the mothership core is so critical, such a critical unit this early on in the game, so you don't want to lose it. But, you know, 2 Stokers and 2 Zealots, that's a lot of firepower this early on in the game. Unfortunately, they are not in the best position fighting on creep and not really fighting together. It's going to come down to micro here. Those Zealots are going to be helping out a ton. There's a time warp we've been talking about. One queen for sure will go down. Oh, beautiful transfuse there by HyDrA, saving that one.
Oh, but it'll still go down, but there's 3 more queens. Oh, another transfuse. Very nice.
Beautiful defense we are seeing right now here from HyDrA. And wow, he actually has 5 queens out on the field. Link speed is about halfway down. He's added 2 more evolution chambers, so he's definitely thinking long term here. But he practically took no losses here, and he will be economically ahead compared to Snovski, who, well, he does have that Oracle, but I don't think how much damage that will be able to do.
And of course, Snovski has now HyDrA has spotted the Stargate because he's flown his Overlord into main base of Snovski. But he is losing some drones right now to the Oracle.
Yeah, those are 5 kills on the Oracle. We'll get a couple more in the main base. It will go down. Now, this was definitely worth it for Snovski because he had to do damage. So sacrificing 1 Oracle, that's 150 gas. That's alright, I think, for 9 drones, considering his early attack, to which he sacrificed his economy. All of it, actually. All of the chrono boost that should have gone down into the Nexi went into the gateways. He just had to make up for that. And 9 drones, that's decent, but still the Zerg is actually behind in drones right now, as we can see, 45 to 49. So Snovski doing a pretty good job, and he's trying to take a 3rd base. This is nice play we're seeing right now.
Yep. So what do you think about Snovski continuing his Phoenix production?
Yeah, he's going to probably just try to maintain map control and just in general have a good idea of where the army of his opponent is. But so far we can see that economically the Zerg player has caught up. He knows about the 3rd base right now. These Phoenixes have to do a lot of damage right now. They have their work cut out for them. Behind this, Snovski is trying to transition into the robo play. He's getting the observer out. I wouldn't be surprised to see a robo support bay coming down right now. 4th base for HyDrA, so he's definitely trying to stay 1 base up on his opponent. With this many queens, however, these Phoenixes are going to have a tough time killing those off. They would be better off trying to harass the main mineral lines and try to pick off a queen there.
Yeah, I was just going to say that HyDrA actually has 7 queens, with 4 of them dedicated to pooping creep on the map. So it's going to be tough taking those out because they're very well defended by each other. But in the main base, yeah, he definitely might be able to do some damage.
He's doing a good job so far. He will get this one queen. If you take a look at the resources lost, it's 1300 compared to 300. So Protoss player definitely playing this game the way he wants to. Good transfuse there, saving that one queen. So HyDrA still good on the defense. There's the Robo Bay for Snovski that we talked about earlier. +1 is just about to finish. He does have a couple of Immortals with him as well. The 3rd base is nicely tucked in and secured. And the initiative will be on the side of the Zerg player right now. 2-2 upgrades for the Lynx, Infestation Pit. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a quick hive here and a very heavy Lynx style coming out. I don't know how good that will work out, however, versus those Colossi that are going to start to come onto the field.
Yeah, so what do you think about the big supply lead that Snovski has actually managed himself to get into? Is that because he's been focusing on army units and maybe HyDrA has just been building up his economy? So why is this?
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty much because the Zerg player has not built any army units whatsoever. He's up to 69 drones, and he's really trying to sprint ahead in tech. There's the hive coming up right now. Wouldn't be surprised to see an Ultralisk cavern coming behind that. But here's the first push for Snovski, and the lack of army units may just be what kills our Zerg player here right now, as he does not have a proper response versus this. Oh, a premature recall, I would say, and the Protoss player is going to pay the price with the Immortal.
Apparently, I've quit the replay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what? Never mind. I'll just finish casting this myself.
All right. I'm very curious to know how it ends.
Yeah, me too. You'd be surprised. So multiple more gateways are coming down for Snovski here. He's transitioning into Colossus production. He has to realize, however, what HyDrA is doing here. And I really think we will see an Ultra Cavern coming down right now, as well as the 3-3 upgrades being queued up in those evolution chambers. It all times out relatively nicely now. Those Phoenixes have scouted the main base. They do see the hive, they do see the precise timing. He has lost a couple of those, however. Never a good sign. And I have to say that the injects for our Zerg player have been really good as well. So the hive is done. There's the Ultralisk Cavern. Now, usually the response you want to see from the Protoss player is, since Snovski does have 2 robo facilities already, you want to see him switch immediately into double immortal production and cease Colossus production entirely. Otherwise, you know, the immortal armies, that's sort of like a one-shot gun. You have a one-shot of breaking the Protoss army, but if you're successful in that, you can just kind of continue to wear down the army of your opponent over time with subsequent reinforcements, since your lings are going to be so effective when you're getting the adrenal glands like HyDrA is right now. But here's a move out by Snovski. He's occupying the center of the map, never allowing the creep spread to step beyond the Zerg territory, trying to take a 4th base as well. And he's adding on Templar Archives. I don't know if he knows about the Ultralisks being on the field yet. I don't think he does. The Zerg player tries to buy a little bit of time. The Ultras are not quite out yet. Fortunately, Snovski is not being as bold as to try and snipe the base. Nice fungals here. That will make the coming battle a little bit easier here for the Zerg player. And with this many infestors, he can actually fungal down the entire army and let the Ultralisks do their job. The Colossi are exposed as well. All the fungals catching half of that army. No recall coming in. The Mothership Core probably has been... Yeah, now it goes down. And this army looks to be in a lot of trouble. Still, Ultralisks are alive. 3 of them remaining. And the Protoss army has to start kiting back, has to start retreating. The Zerglings are trying to prevent that, blocking the retreat of the Stalkers. And as we said, now the Protoss army is not only fungal, it's also between 2 giant grinding stones in form of those lings, and Ultralisks. Only a handful of Stalkers managed to get away, and now with the reinforcements, HyDrA might be able, in the very least, I think, kill the 4th base of the Protoss player. If he crosses the map, Lings have a pretty low production time. There's not much that the Protoss player can do about this. He's got 2 Colossi, but only 1 Immortal, which means those Ultralisks will stay alive for a decent amount of time. The Stalkers are paying the price. Look how the Zerg army is chasing away the Protoss like no one's business, with the chitinous plating that is actually not on the field yet, but it could be queued up any moment. But 3-3 upgrades are just about to finish, and the Protoss player is vastly out-upgraded here by the Zerg, being only at 2-1. Now the 3-3 is kicking in for the Zerg. 12 more seconds and it will be done. Infestors regenerating energy, and 5th base going down for the Zerg player HyDrA. He's in a pretty good position right now, with Snovski being on the defensive. Another little engagement here. Not the best position for the Zerg player. It looks like HyDrA is not paying attention entirely, but he does get the 4th base. Behind these, he is establishing his 5th, so he has to be careful not to overcommit here, which looks to be the case. He loses a couple of infestors there. The burrows certainly helping out a lot here. Now it looks like Snovski has stabilized, but HyDrA already has a transition prepared. Double Spire just about to finish in 30 seconds. Chitinous plating finally being researched. More Ultralisks showing up on the Protoss doorstep, and now the situation is a little bit different. However, we have 3 Immortals here, 2 Colossi, a lot of Stalkers and Zealots, so Snovski finally managed to adjust his composition to what his opponent is doing, but there is a huge Muta switch, or should be a huge Muta switch, coming around. It's just that HyDrA does not have entirely enough gas and minerals to do a big one. But if he waits for a while, he'll be able to pump out like 15 or 20 Mutalisks at a time. Nope, decides to go against that, pumps out 4 more Infestors, and maintains control of the center, while trying to go set up a Ling run-by at the third base of Snovski. Snovski's trying to retake the fourth base, and he is getting his +3 attack upgrade right now. He's a little bit behind on that, but considering he's lost the fourth and had to have rebuilt his army, his entire army in fact, you can't really blame him on cutting some of those things out. Now here's a run-by to the fourth base, forcing a blink down. A couple of HP lost on that Nexus, but here's the main thing, the run-by at the third base. The cannons are still holding. Good warping there by Snovski, even forcing a recall, and this opens up the opportunity for all these 9 Ultralisks to pommel down, to barrel down on that fourth base. This one is a goner, as well as those Stalkers if they don't blink out. Oh, the worst position for Stalkers to be in right now, behind the mineral line, between 2 groups of Ultras. The rest of the army gets fungled down by the Infestors, unable to do anything. And, well, HyDrA is managing these battles and controlling them so well compared to Snovski. Snovski just really not finding the correct answer. Still, his power units, his Archons, his Immortals, his Colossi are staying alive, as is the fourth base, so mission failed by HyDrA. He did kill a decent amount of Stalkers, which will bode very well for him, considering there is 18 Mutalisks coming onto the field right now. And Snovski's still not catching on to the fact that there is a transition ready. He's still producing Immortals, trying to have a good composition versus the Ultralisks. Now, I wonder if HyDrA will go and attack with those Mutalisks straight away, or if he will wait with them a little while longer, 5 more in production. If he takes the Protoss player by surprise, he might be able to close out the game here, as there is really not that much in terms of anti-air on the Protoss side of things. 4 Stalkers only, no Phoenixes. We have a Stargate in the play, but 1 Stargate is not going to be enough to pump out the number of Phoenixes needed to defend those mutas. And look, another transition coming out of HyDrA behind this. A Hydraulisk Den. He's transitioning into missile upgrades, as opposed to well, actually he's got 3/3 from melee and carapace, so that's the only upgrade he doesn't have yet. And +2/+2 for the flyers. And yeah, now the mutas have been spotted. We have them harassing the natural. Another Ling run-by at the fourth base at the top, excuse me, the third. The mutas are all clumped up, but the Archons can't get to them. Couple of Stalkers blink forward. The Colossus pays the price, falls down. Fourth base wildly exposed to the Lings and the mutas, and Snovski is forced to GG out of the game. 1-0 to HyDrA in game